Method overriding. Second way, how you can achieve polymorphism is through method overriding. Till now we have seen method overloading, but method overriding is something different. So what is method overriding? So let me show you what is method overriding means. So method overriding means if subclass has the same method as declared in the parent class, it is known as a method overriding. So what is method overriding? If subclass has the same method as declared in the parent class, is known as a method overriding. So that means there are two classes here. Method overloading in the single class it is happening. But method overriding will happen in two classes. That means between two classes means again you have to apply inheritance oops concept. See, the link will be there. In the advantage of inheritance, I explained. To achieve method overriding and runtime polymorphism, you need inheritance oops concept. That I'm going to use here now. So that means you're getting inheritance also in the method overriding, mandatory. If you apply the inheritance only, you can achieve method overriding. Otherwise, method overriding not possible. So the rules also I will tell you how you can achieve method overriding all this. If a subclass means child class, right, has the same method name as declared in the parent class. That means classes has the same method. Parent class also same method, same parameters. Child class also same method you have to write in the child class also, same parameters. But sir, what is the difference then? Why you want to do that? Parent class same method, child class also same method. Why you want to do like that? So a subclass, that means child class inside, you will provide the specific implementation of the method that has already been declared in the parent class. Parent class method logic, child class method logic, both are different. But again, parameters, method name, everything same. Only body inside you will write, right? That logic you will be differently will implement. So you are not disturbing the parent class method logic and you are writing your own logic in the child class. That is the main purpose of method overriding. You can give your own implementation in your child class, not to disturb the parent class method, because that is used by many people. If you want to write your logic, you cannot touch that. So what you can do, you override that method in your child class. For your purpose, you develop your logic. Then you can call the same method. When you call your method, always you will call your child class method only will be called, not parent class method. That is called method overriding. So method overriding is used to provide specific implementation of the method that is already provided by its superclass. So one of the superclass is giving already the logic, but that logic you are not going to write in the child class. You want to give a different logic. For your own, for your requirement base, you have to develop the method. Different logic you want to implement. Then this is the right opportunity. You have to use the method overriding. So rules for creating a method overriding is method must have same name as declared in the parent class. Whatever the method name is there in the parent class, child class also must be same. Remember that. Method must have same parameter as in the parent class. What is the parameter name is there? Same parameter name must be in the child class also. So method name parameters should be same in both the classes. Child class implementation should be different than parent class method. See, I told you that Parent class logic should be different. Child class logic is different. You have to use the inheritance between the two classes. You apply the inheritance concept, then only method overriding possible. And another thing, one more point I want to add here. So the point here is, for example, this is a question, so same question asked in the interview also. Parent class method use the access modifier public for the method, public void M1 method used. Can I reduce the permission in the child class for the same method? You should not do that. If you do, you will get a compile time error. This is a question I got in the yesterday's exam. So let me show you that. So what is that? In my parent class, see, this is a parent class. Let me show you the practicals I'm showing. This kind of questions they will give. So this is the what kind of access modifier I used for this method? What kind of access modifier I used here?
Default.
Default. And what is the parameter? Integer. But here, see that. So what I have used default only I used. What I changed here? What I changed here?
Integer.
The parameter is different or the same? This one and this one. This one is a primitive data type. But this one is wrapper class. This is the wrapper class. Both are different, right? That's why it is throwing error. It's a violation of a rule, right? So what is the violation of rule? The parameters are different. See, this point is not meeting. So what I told this point, parameter must be same as in the parent class. Is it the same? In the parameter list is same. Whatever is there in the parent class. So what is the parent class is there? Primitive integer type is there. But what is there in the child class? This is the child class. This is the child class. Child class inside, what is the data type of same method? What is the data type of I?
Integer wrapper class.
Wrapper class. This is the wrapper class we call this. Integer wrapper class is different. Int primitive data type is different. So 8 primitive data types has 8 wrapper classes. That's why it's violating which point? The second point. This point is violated. That's why it is throwing error here. Compile time error. And one more question asked in the interview. So suppose you have a parent class, the access modifier protected. Suppose I'll give one more example. Let me give one more example. These are all interview questions. This is the kind of questions we are asking. Method overriding 3. So I'll just declare my method, okay? So so they declared same way like this. Protected to void M1 method. Okay, they declared like this. Just even they didn't write even symbol, just they have given this method overriding in parent. So one more class I will create. One more class you create. One more class I'm creating. Method overriding 4 I'll give. Okay. So now see that. See, you have a method, this one. You need to override. Override means you have to write the same method, right? Here. You have to write the same method. So, but what they did is they removed the permission and they put the override here. So now it is say what is the problem. the method M1 of type method overriding 4. Okay, I have to apply here extends keyword. See, extends method overriding 3, right? Overriding 3. See, now this is throwing an error. So you have to save it. Method overriding 3. So this is the method. Okay. Cannot be resolved to a typo. Why? The class we created already.
Yeah, the spelling.
Spelling mistake?
Yeah.
One extra R is there.
Okay. I don't know how it came, but fine. Let's. Okay. But what is the error here you're getting? Not reduce the visibility of inherited method from method overriding 3. Here in the parent class, what is there? Protected is there for the same method. And what is here? Default here. That is the reason this kind of questions they are asking in the interviews. Clear? So this is the I'm giving more visibility on what kind of questions and they will ask you in the interviews. Next. So what is a runtime polymorphism? So on this point also I need to add the scope cannot be reduced in the child class. The method scope cannot be reduced in the child class. Remember that point also. I will add sometime. The scope cannot be reduced in the child class. The method scope cannot be reduced. You can increase, no problem, but you cannot decrease the visibility. For example, you have given here, suppose you have given private. Private is not visible at all. Okay. You have given protected, but you can give here public, no issues. Here you can give public. There is no issues. Here the error is gone now. You're increasing. If you increase the permission, no problem. But you cannot reduce the permission. Okay. So that is the kind of issues you have to understand this. So these 2 points, please remember. And another thing is there is a runtime polymorphism. They will ask, what is runtime polymorphism? This is a very important definition they will ask. What is runtime polymorphism? So you understand the method overriding, right? Between the 2 classes, it will happen. You must apply the inheritance between the 2 classes. So how you can apply the inheritance? Using extends keyword, right? This is the inheritance. Child class, this is the child class, extends. This is the parent class. This is the last class I explained this. So then the parent class method will override in the child class. You will write a different logic. That's a method overriding. But what is runtime polymorphism? So runtime polymorphism or a dynamic method dispatch is a process in which a call to overridden method is resolved at runtime only rather than compile time. Runtime only the call will be decided which method has to call, parent class method or child class method. So that will be decided at a runtime only. That is the main concept here about runtime polymorphism. I told you compile time polymorphism is it happens at a compile time only, right? So here the call to overridden method is resolved at runtime only based on object creating. Based on that object only, it is going to call either child class or parent class method. And in the overridden method, so always it will call child class method only, it will call in the runtime polymorphism process. So the overridden method is called through the reference variable of superclass. So always we are giving reference variable same class, right? Now onwards you can give reference variable, even parent class reference variable also you can give. That means parent class reference variable equal to new child class object you can do. Till now we are doing class name reference variable equal to new class name. But now onwards, you can do a parent type that reference variable equal to new child class. You can do that. Which class you implemented that class, you can create object. So that is called runtime polymorphism. So the determination of method we called is based on the object being referred by the reference variable. So there is a upcasting process is there. Upcasting means when reference variable of parent class refers to the object of child class is known as upcasting or runtime polymorphism. You can call like this also parent class. You can create object this way also. Reference variable equal to new child class. Right side object you are creating for child class, but you are referring with a parent class variable. This is called upcasting or runtime polymorphism. This line is following the runtime polymorphism. So now, always with this reference variable, you can call only overridden methods of child class, not other methods of child class. Some methods are overridden, some methods are not overridden. Overridden methods only you can call with this reference variable, but not other methods. Suppose you have a parent class M1 method and same you overridden in the child class. But in the child class, you have another M2, M3 methods also. But M2, M3 methods you cannot call with this reference variable. When you use the parent class reference variable here, that is not possible. Which is not overridden in the child class, those methods are not accessible by this reference variable when there is a parent class and that reference variable. So, can we override the static methods? Not possible at all. You cannot override the static methods. Why you cannot override the static methods? Because static methods belongs to the class rather than object. Instance methods belongs to the object. Static belongs to the class area memory. Instance method belongs to the heap area memory. This is the reason why we cannot override the static methods. So static methods you can overload, but you cannot override them. Remember, only you can override non-static methods only. Only non-static methods you can override, not static methods. Why we cannot override means just now I have given static method is bound with class, whereas instance method is bound with object. Static belongs to class area, instance belongs to heap area. So heap area means runtime objects, right? Let's say runtime only the call will be decided. So which method has to be called? And can we override Java main method? No, right? Based on this question, you can easily answer that. Any static method, main is a static method that you cannot override. Can we override private methods? No, you cannot override the private methods also. Private methods are not accessible, right? In the child class. So that's why private methods also you cannot override. So how can you stop overriding the methods? You don't want to override the methods. How can you stop them? So make the methods either a private, static, final, and those kind of methods are not overridden in the child class. How you can stop the overriding? So you make that methods as a private or static or final methods you create or static methods you create or make the method as a private, then those methods are not able to override. So these are the questions. So in the interviews, they will keep asking this. So another very important, the difference between method overloading and overriding. So what is the difference between method overloading and overriding? So method overloading is used to increase the readability of the program. Method overriding is used to provide the specific implementation of the method that is already provided by its superclass. Method overloading is performed within the class. Method overriding occurs in two classes, that is going to perform applied inheritance oops concept. In case of method overloading, parameter must be different. In case of method overriding, parameter must be same. Right? So this the understand these differences. So method overloading is the example of compile time polymorphism. Method overriding is an example of runtime polymorphism. In Java, method overloading cannot be performed by changing the return type of the method, but return type must be same or covariant in the method overriding. So these are the 5, at least a few of them you answer that. Give the differences, method definition, then at least a few points you can give. Mandatory interview question, this one also. Okay, so that's all about theory, and tomorrow we'll see the programs.